Definitely, yeah. Like the back checking to back shots ratio is crazy. There's not a lot of back checking.
The show Heated Rivalry, which is an adaptation of the book by the same name, has hit HBO, Crave TV, wherever you might get it. The first 2 episodes are out on HBO Go, HBO Max, whatever it's called these days. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it throughout its run. If you don't know what it is, it's a show about 2 professional hockey players who begin an affair. They fall for each other, or do they?
We've had this discussion before. I don't think the affair thing applies here.
Oh, yeah. Pete has a weird definition of it. Pete thinks that all affairs have to be extramarital affairs.
No,
yes. Would.
Well, no. Yes. I think that there has to be a marriage for it to be considered an affair.
A love affair, we just have different definitions, and I hate to be the guy that says your definition is wrong, but I understand why.
It's my spiritual definition.
The definition, according to Oxford Language, is a sexual relationship between 2 people, one or both of whom are married to or are in a long-term relationship with someone else.
Objection.
Here we go.
Wait, is that an extramarital affair or a love affair?
Just affair, according to Oxford Languages.
This is, I feel like somebody has to be married.
No, a romantic or sexual relationship between 2 people, especially one that is outside marriage. That is from the Oxford Dictionary.
Well, that's not what comes up when you Google. But I agree that, like, generally speaking, like, you can use an affair. You can use affair to refer to just some kind of maybe scandalous relationship. But I think the average person, when you hear affair, is going to assume extramarital.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that.
This isn't scandalous, is what I would say. I mean,
it's scandalous, but I mean, if you found out Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin were fucking, that'd be scandalous.
Why would it be scandalous?
Well, because one of them's Russian, so there's scandal in that inherently, which they reference in the show,
I guess.
And also, it's like, I mean, again, the Russian guy has like a girlfriend.
Somebody also says in the chat, and I agree with this. If we're going by spiritual things, they say what if it's a secret? Does that make you think affair? Maybe that's where my spiritual definition is.
I think
just
so.
Like 2 people carrying on and people don't know about it.
Yeah, secret I get. I think that's the explanation. But like secret and scandal aren't necessarily synonyms in my book.
No, I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, you have these 2 players, Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov, who play for the Montreal Metros and Boston Raiders. Raiders. Are the Ramblers one of the ECHL teams?
That's the Gamblers.
Gamblers.
Yeah.
Ooh,
the Ramblers are also that's a team somewhere.
Anyway, these 2 players are the 2 best players in their draft, and they meet each other and they begin having
smoking cigarettes.
Only one of them.
One of them smokes cigarettes.
The other one says, "Don't smoke those cigarettes."
I thought they were sharing a cigarette in the opening scene.
No, he's the Russian smoking, and he comes up being like, "I don't think you're supposed to smoke here," and then he just keeps smoking anyways. And then later on, he yells at him because he smoked a cigarette, and he's like, "I can smell the cigarettes," and he's like, "I just had one."
That's right.
One of them. So yeah, one of them is a very kind of clean-cut, good Canadian boy.
It's Sidney Crosby.
And the other one is a just don't give a fuck. People question his attitude, his work ethic thing, which I think this show does a good job of having this, like, this Russian player has all of this shit thrown onto them before they even enter the league, where they're like, this Ilya Rozanov is very good, but we have to ask, does he try? And it's like, just because he's Russian.
Yeah.
Which is something that Russian players do.
Well, not just because it's Russian, because his dad also was like, this guy doesn't fucking try. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he says in like a pre-draft interview, he's like, my son is lazy.
I feel like it is hitting all of the Russian stereotypes.
Yeah.
For hockey.
Yeah, for sure.
It was like asshole parent, like criticisms about his effort level, very cocky, and it's just hitting all of these stereotypes that have been run over and over and over again in hockey.
But I like that in this show, it's the Russian player who is far more careless when it comes to the what if we get found out? Obviously you would, as we've seen in the NHL with Pride stuff, like there's more of a track record of Russian players being like, I'm afraid to align myself with this thing for how my country will view it, sort of thing. So I like that in this show, it's the Russian player who's like, who fucking cares, man? And the other one's like, what if people find out about this?
When they're stateside. Because, I mean, he didn't want Shane to even talk to him when they were in Russia.
Fair. Sean, you are emerging as by far the best Heated Rivalry analyst of the three of us, which hurts my feelings because I've been waiting for this show forever, but so far you're like 9 for 9.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I paid attention. I caught the details.
Okay, let's just kind of set the table on what this show is. I think that there was a faction of hockey fans who looked at this show and was like, it's just going to be a bunch of sex with just like a couple of hockey moments thrown in there. And I thought that that was really annoying, and I thought it was lame and borderline problematic that people thought that. I would like to apologize to those people because you are completely correct. This show is sex on sex on sex on sex. I'll note, I'm not mad. It's like a smut show, and my girlfriend she says she's like watched these kind of romance shows.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes into it, she was like, oh no, like this is holding up its end of the bargain for what it said it was going to be in the genre in which it was presenting itself.
Definitely, yeah. Like the back checking to back shots ratio is crazy. There's not a lot of back checking. I do love how like unapologetic it is, and what I assume is a very true to the source material adaptation, because there is no Trojan horsing at all in terms of this. If you are watching the show, there's no way you can be tricked into like thinking that this is something else before the smut begins.
There are Trojans though, because famously Shane pulled out a whole sleeve of condoms.
I fucking love that too.
Yeah.
2 young guys just fucking like throwing caution to the wind in their relationship, but also being like, hey, like, let's be safe here.
Well, I mean, it was Shane's first time. So
true.
I don't know. Rosanov didn't necessarily seem like he was asking where the condoms were.
That is accurate. Once again, Sean shooting 100.
Very good. Yes, one of my notes was I call this show Shane Hollander because it busted its load real quick.
It is within 15 minutes. They're jorking it.
So what did I write down? Dicks are in mouths 20 minutes in.
Yep.
This show does 2 things, especially in the first episode. It gives you the lovin', and it jumps ahead in time.
Yeah.
Every other scene is yams being shown, or it's saying 3 months later, 10 years later.
Yams grade, strongest A possible.
Trying to not objectify. There are certain yams.
Well, maybe they shouldn't be cheeked up every other scene.
I don't think
and those are unbelievable yams.
Yeah, I mean,
unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't have a damn bad thing to say about the yams.
Like we might have BBL accusations in chat based off of how good those yams are.
I did ask my girlfriend about like, hey, can we get a implant possibility grade here?
I mean, it literally looks like the fake ass from Tom Cruise in Edge of Tomorrow.
Don't know the reference, but
I believe that it's Edge of Tomorrow. Like it is the fakest ass you've ever seen, but like that's what it looked like on Rosanov. Especially good yams on that one.
Yeah.
Right. And I was gonna say, like, if we are objectifying these guys now, like they both play hockey players very well. They both look believably as though they're careful about what they put in their bodies, diet wise and everything. Like they both have great bodies.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a yam situation going on.
I mean, that is, but
no wonder they released
it.
It
is
on Thanksgiving.
A hockey player thing though, for them to, I don't know about the yams specifically, but famously hockey players are beefy below the waist, so I guess it tracks.
Hockey butt is a real thing, 100%.
Okay, the issue that I had with episode 1 is that there felt like there were no stakes because they just got right into it. It didn't feel like there was build up, and there did not seem like there was a believable rivalry there.
That part I agree with.
You know?
It very much feels like there's nothing going on other than the sex and like the bridge to the next sex.
Which I will say, to be fair, like I think they do a good job
Throw yourself up, Sean.
at showing that like it's really like the outside that's creating the rivalry. Like they don't have beef with each other and never really have. I guess they kind of did when they were like in juniors or whatever, but like it's all the other players being like, your boy Rosanov, you hate this guy, don't you? Because like, which like I feel like makes sense. Like I know like with Sid and Ovi, there was like a little bit of an actual rivalry between them, but like a lot of that, or like with Celebrini and Bedard, like that's just like a kind of a media like ecosystem kind of manufactured thing, as opposed to them like actually hating each other. I feel like
if we're like holding this up to like good TV show standards, there is a lot of telling instead of showing in terms of like the characters and what we're supposed to believe about their relationship, other than what they are showing us, which is just straight up sex.
To be fair, I don't think anyone is judging smut books by good book standards.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, though, we had this conversation about hadn't considered this being something more than a smut show until it was picked up by HBO, which, given HBO's sort of reputation as a like I don't want to say prestige TV, but like good TV.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're watching the first couple episodes of this show, I'm a little disappointed as to how little there is going on outside of the sex.
See, there's where I push back, because it saved itself for me in the second episode with one moment, and it's Shane on the elevator starting to text, "We didn't even kiss." And there I said, stakes.
Fun fact.
There's fucking stakes here now.
So I saw that on Reddit, and people were really happy with how that was adapted from the book. Because apparently, like, in the book, it describes kind of that emotion of, like, Shane realizing that they didn't kiss, and then, to his horror, realizing that fact upset him because he realized he was catching feelings. And, like, they were saying that the way that they showed that without actually, like, writing out those words like they do in the book, obviously, was, like, really true to the book. So, shout out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I don't know. I don't know where this is going, so I don't have like the scope of where we are in the story. I feel like they really did breeze past whatever the beginning stages were of this whole thing, and really did a lot of just telling you what this the situation is versus showing you and having you kind of build with that.
Well, in its defense, I think that breezing past, like it's the glitz and the glamour that make it disappointing that they didn't do more on the, like, how did these two end up in this situation? Because it does just kind of present itself as two people meet, they look at each other a certain way, before long, they're in some sort of romantic relationship. That kind of is how it works in real life, but it's like, because let's say these guys are 20 years old or whatever. Like, that is kind of how 20-year-olds behave. So that's believable. The fact, though, that we do have this context of they're stars and they're supposed to be total enemies and on the other side of whatever, like, I would have liked to see that wall chipped away at a little more, because they really did just kind of do the young person thing of like, I'm hot, you're hot, what up?
Yeah, I mean, I will say that, like, I think if you're coming to this for the smut, then you probably don't really care all too much about the hockey. And if you're coming to it from a perspective of knowing hockey, like, I don't feel like I really need the added context. Like, I get what's happening here. I get that, like, this is 1 and 2. They're naturally pitted against each other. There's the dynamic of one's Russian, one's North American. Like, that's something as a sports fan I get already without them having to add the context. Like, yeah, they played each other in the World Juniors, and then their rivalry started there. Like, I understand all of that, so like, I don't really need them to waste all this time explaining it when that's not really the point of the show. The point is that they're fucking teenagers that want to fuck.
So like,
but I feel like they don't make you care enough about either one of them. That would be my complaint from like a viewer perspective.
I think they do a good job at being like, no, I disagree. Like, I think, especially with the second episode, like, I start to care about Rosanov a lot more, especially with like what's going on with his dad. And then like Shane, I think they do a good job at presenting as such like a good boy that, like, I care about like kind of the mental stress that he is going through trying to keep up this image of being like Connor Bedard, golden boy, and also like figuring out his sexuality, I guess.
I think the Shane stuff is awesome. And
Yeah.
I think that the last minute of that episode got me perfectly, where we didn't really have to wait for the second episode. First episode came out, I think, Friday. And then when I went to finish the episode, the second one was already there.
I watched them back to back.
So I was able to
yesterday.
just keep going, and that was great. That is a fucking way to end the first session of someone watching that show when they have to wait a week, which is like, there's something I'm waiting for here, which is, like I said, stakes. That moment where Shane's on the elevator, I was like, we have our stakes. I need to see more of this now. And now I'm frustrated. I have to wait.
Plus, I think like the stakes are so clear in the sense that like Rosanov's entire life falls apart. Like he can't go home. His family disowns him if this gets found out. And then like they describe pretty specifically that like Shane is this perfect, handsome young man, which they obviously don't mean handsome to men. They're talking about like all the women that would like him and like all of his brand deals that his mom clearly is super invested in. That falls apart. So like I think the stakes are pretty clear. It's just not that the stakes aren't directly tied to like the hockey or the rivalry necessarily. It's just what they have going on in their individual lives.
Another interesting thing is the element of like hockey's history with homophobia. I was wondering how that would kind of present itself. And it did, where a teammate says something that could be interpreted as homophobic, where he's talking about Shane's buddy who's in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to go watch my buddy figure skate. And his friend was like, oh, I'll do that. I'll support anyone who's that brave.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck does that mean? And then he explains, he's like, oh, sorry. Like if he's gay, like we're in Russia and blah, blah, blah. And you see a moment where like Shane isn't, I don't think that was just like about him being like, oh, fuck, like I do gay stuff. Am I gay? We're having a gay conversation right now. I like took that as some like face value. Like, did you just say something homophobic?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's that supposed to
Yeah.
mean? So like, I like that whether Shane's living a double life or not, he's not gonna hopefully not do the like overcompensating, like, oh yeah, I bet that guy's gay kind of thing. Like he still is like the golden boy in terms of like also being supportive of everybody.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how that part of it plays out, because I think I saw an interview with Jacob Tierney and the two actors before, and they were talking about their doubles, and they're like, Tierney basically said that there's a lot to be said about hockey culture, but like ultimately once they bring you in and consider you part of the family, like they'll do anything for you. So I'm curious, kind of, obviously this isn't his, like he didn't write the book, so there's only so much he can do with kind of how he deploys like the hockey culture part of it. But I'm interested to see if it turns into like there is a problem with them in the context of the rest of hockey, if they get figured out at some point, or if it is like, you know, you're one of us. It doesn't really matter. Kind of like, I'm just interested to see how that like the hockey culture part of it plays out.
But that's part of the reason why I'm a little bit disappointed in the first couple of episodes, because I feel like that hasn't been really like fleshed out. And I'm assuming that I hope that it's coming, where like you're getting more into, especially with it happening in the like 2008 is when this thing starts. Yeah. Like I hope that they get a little bit more deeper into like hockey culture and why it would be so like scandalous or so like such a I don't know, salacious, like why it would be such a big deal for them to like come out as gay.
I
like,
mean, yeah,
I don't think you get a lot of that in the first couple of episodes.
But also that I feel like it would be kind of weird if you did, because their relationship is private. So it would be weird if like hockey players were just constantly talking about gay shit, and there was like no real reason for it, because they don't know that Shane's gay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but like there's not a lot of casual homophobia either in the first couple of episodes.
I agree, but I also like, I don't know, maybe I'm being a little hopeful or like unrealistic, but like as problematic as hockey culture can be, I feel like guys aren't just like throwing around F slurs in the locker room. Like I feel like generally speaking, it's not going to be like the most blatantly like obviously there's instances of it, but like I don't think that they would just be doing like constantly blatantly homophobic stuff.
Yeah, and there's enough guys in the NHL right now who would like kick some fucking ass if they heard the wrong thing said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
like there- yeah.
assuming there was one of those per room, which I believe there is,
Yeah.
then I mean, far be it from us to say like, okay, ready for a gay player? Like, well, come
Yeah,
out,
like I'm not going to
like,
sit here. It's
but
perfect. Yeah.
I do think that there's enough guys in the league now who like would have like zero fucking tolerance.
Yeah, and again, like
It's tolerance for homophobia.
yeah, and like as the chat's kind of getting to is like I think ultimately, and what I said earlier, like the stakes for them are not so much in the context of hockey, but it's what they have going on in their personal lives. So like, yeah, like as somebody mentioned, like Rosanov's brother calls him the F slur at one point in Russian. Like,
Yeah, no, like that exists. I would say
Yeah.
more like hockey culture.
yeah, but
wise.
I think more the point of their characters is the stakes within their personal lives and not necessarily like within the locker room. Like I think that's kind of a secondary or even like tertiary,
Yeah, tertiary.
like kind of point to the story that's being told.
I'll tell you what. The teammate who invites Shane over for dinner,
Yeah.
no way that guy is gonna fucking stand for people being homophobic, right?
Why do you say that?
Because that guy's like the most like boring, friendly neighbor guy in the world. That guy's not gonna be doing some homophobic
Big
shit.
wife guy. You're
Big
just
guy,
wife
the
guy.
guy that was like the American.
The
like-
guy that's like, my wife wants to have you over for dinner, bird fruit only.
I don't even remember.
Not
that.
Scott Hunter.
I don't even remember that part.
Yeah, there's one
I
where
love
he's like-
Scott Hunter. Chat says that Scott Hunter's coming up more in the coming episodes.
Hmm.
All right.
And they say that when I said I'm so looking forward to the next episode, they said based on the book, we're getting some great stuff.
All right. Yeah. There's a lot of talk about like the stuff that we are
Hating.
wanting more of.
Yeah,
is
that's the other
coming.
thing. We've only
so
seen 2 episodes of what is otherwise like a full book. So
I do have.
I have a complaint.
Yep, give me.
There is far too much usage of the last names during sex.
Oh no,
They're
I
calling
like
each
that,
other their last names.
I like
That's
that he calls him Hollander.
That's
I mean, that's
weird.
very
Bye,
like
Hollander.
It's weird.
it works at least early on for the Rozanov character. I feel like because he's very dominant and it's very like
For him, I think it makes
it
sense.
kind of removed. But like even as it goes along, like Hollander starts calling him Rosie,
Yeah. Yeah. That,
which like
but like they
kind of
start
endearing.
off like saying like full on government last names.
Yeah.
And that's a little weird.
yeah,
I think
a
that
little bit.
nicknames in sex is weirder than
No.
last name in sex.
No, because no.
Like
because,
hockey nickname in sex?
Well, hockey nickname and like I would be. It's different because like I don't know. It's kind of different because it's 2 guys because it is normal. Like throughout high school, every guy only knew me as DePaz. So like there's probably a lot of guys I went to high school that don't even really know my first name. So like it's different because that's kind of how they know each other. But like
okay.
I definitely disagree. Like I would much rather be called anything other than my last name by.
but I-
Chad is saying this, by the way, that this is a plot point. Like it is reflective of where they
Exactly.
are in
Right,
their
like,
relationship
I was-
with one
that-
another.
that-
That
yeah,
makes
because
sense
eventually he
then.
starts calling him Rosie, which is like much more endearing.
Next
Okay,
thing I was
okay.
going to say is Rosanov calling Shane Hollander and just only calling him Hollander just so much further underscores that he's keeping him close physically, but like still
Yes.
absolutely has him at arm's length.
Exactly. Like he's whether it's performative or not, like it is it's clearly like it's an example of who he is as a person and where he is at. But like, yeah, I think it will develop.
I
Okay,
need
so
to
this is
say-
maybe just a like me not giving the show enough credit in terms of like the
Yeah, I think you gotta
where
give it
we
a little
are
time.
because I don't have like
Yeah.
the full scope
I mean,
of
that
where
makes
we're
sense.
going. So it's good to know.
I want to point out that the chat is very active. Everybody is participating, which means everyone who watches our show live has watched this show.
Except
That
for the
is
person who
amazing.
asked. Except for the person who asked, "How do I watch this show?" HBO Max if you're in the United States, Crave if you're in Canada, and HBO if you're also in Australia.
Okay, great job, great conversation, especially you, Sean. Pete and I, we got work to do, but I think that Sean is really carrying the day. I'll put myself last. Sean 1, Pete 2, me 3. We'll do.
give yourself some credit. I don't
We'll
think you,
do like power rankings for Heated Rivalry analysts each week. Sean, you're starting off great.
Thank you.
Now let's go through some fun notes. I like that they're both in each other's phones as women.
Mhm.
And when they begin, because obviously, if you're trying to hide a gay relationship, it would stand to reason. You put the other person, but they only do it for the first text. One of them sends, "Hey Jane, see you in a couple of weeks. XOXO Lily." I know they don't. I would love if they kept that up, where they keep texting each other as a woman and then say that they're a woman as well in it. So in trying to hide a gay relationship, they have an on-the-record gay relationship.
Yeah,
That did not
well,
register.
there is a point later on where Ilya is like, "What's a girl supposed to do with a night in Montreal or whatever?" I also love specifically that Rosie puts himself in the phone as Lily, because Lily and Ilya, like it works.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn!
It's
You're
what's
fucking
that?
kicking
An
our ass.
anagram?
Yeah, I guess.
Close? No, there's no A.
Yeah, it's not
Oh, yeah.
specific, but like
That's
it just
Just a pseudonym.
they work together well.
Okay.
Oh, okay. There's a podcast in this show.
Yeah, what the
called
fuck?
Man in the Crease, and we don't do this to other hockey podcasts. That podcast fucking sucks.
Sucks.
It is so lame.
Is Man in the Crease an intentional choice?
Gotta be.
Just
There's
asking.
no way in a smut book that it's not. Assuming that was in the
It
smut book
seems like
specifically.
everything else has been thought out pretty well, and
There's
every
absolutely
point that I've
no
tried to
way.
raise, chat's been like, "That was an intentional choice. That was an intentional plot point."
Yeah, there has been a lot of like, shut up. That's what it meant to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coffee Seahorse says they're in a lesbian relationship.
I did forget about the dick pic jump scare.
Yeah.
And
Shane got jump scared by it too.
hate to get really analytical here. Rosie's lying about his size.
Well, yeah, because then he goes on to talk about 9 inches. I'm like,
Yeah.
brother, we just saw
We
it.
just saw it.
We just saw it.
It's like you might be
What do you
fooling.
call-
You might be fooling Hollander,
And
who's,
also-
who's new at this game. You're not fooling me.
Hollander's
That's not
also
9
seen
inches.
Russia?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Is
measuring
it
in
cold over
centimeters.
there?
Measuring in centimeters.
So, that was another complaint that I had.
Can we discuss the most upsetting part of this show for me? They go to the Olympics and they play in the Olympics. And when I saw it said the Olympics and that Canada was going to play and that Russia was going to play, I got something baked into my brain and I was so excited for it. I said,
Shootout.
if the Canada jerseys in Heated Rivalry are better than the Canada jerseys for the Olympics in real life, I will be so fucking happy. I can't wait to AB it on the show and we can compare. And that would be like 10 hours of What Chaos content. But unfortunately, they did not show Canada playing. So we do not know what the jerseys look like.
I thought they did.
Yeah, they showed the jersey.
They showed the
In the
jerseys.
Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I would have to go scrub to find it, but
Yeah, and they are better.
Oh, I mean, the guarantee is
bar
that
is
they're
the
anything
floor.
to
The
be
bar
better.
is the floor.
Yeah.
I'll try and find it.
Can
but-
we see that? If you can find it, that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they do show it, and I'm pretty sure they are better.
I mean, they absolutely have to be better. How do we feel about the MLH logo, Major League Hockey? It's ridiculous.
I thought a lot of the branding stuff looked very. Should have hired better people to put together realistic branding. The Raiders jerseys
put all their
are
money into
trash.
They put a Boston Bruins jersey or logo on a Blackhawks away jersey.
It's crazy.
Like, what is? I don't know what's going on.
Just
there.
mixing in a little red out of nowhere.
for no reason.
Okay, no. So they showed like World Juniors or whatever that's supposed to be.
Is that what it
saw
was?
Well,
that.
they did,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure they went on to show the Olympics. But
Interesting. I know that Shane was wearing a really cool Canada fleece. That I was like,
yeah, that shit went crazy.
Wouldn't hate that.
The Americans looked like fucking goons,
Yeah,
but the Canada fleece looked hard.
they were
Okay,
wearing.
it was the World Junior ones that they showed.
Nothing gets past us.
There you go.
Okay. Continuity error. Before Boston wins the cup, Ilya in a very bad speech, I must say. I know his
Bad
teammate was
speech.
like, good speech.
Bad speech.
Bad speech.
Agreed.
But he gives a bad speech, and a lot of it is that he says, fuck San Francisco. I want to win this here in Boston in front of our fans. They win that game, and the scoreboard shows that San Francisco is the home team.
Because they're the bottom team.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just broadcasting error.
Oh, you could put it on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, San Francisco as a team.
Maybe that was a shot. Maybe that was
Congratulations.
a shot at Nesson.
Oh.
Even though they wouldn't be they wouldn't be showing
Well, it's a
the
shot at
final.
ESPN.
Maybe.
I'm going to note that a lot of the show centers around league awards. You see that Shane Hollander wins Rookie of the Year, and then Ilya Rozanov the next year wins whatever the MVP would be. And I am just so fucking mad because they could have hired Matt Friend to host the MLH Awards and do the same exact thing. And that would have been lore on fucking lore. I would have loved that so much.
That would have been incredible. I wish they did that. I also wish that they just included Nathan McKinnon to be like, how does Ilya Rozanov's MVP campaign affect Nathan McKinnon's Hart candidacy?
Did you notice the All-Star Game team names?
No. Tate McRae?
All-Star Game team. Well, it was
North America versus world,
world,
was it
yeah.
not?
Team North America versus Team Europe. Fucking love that.
Wow, fuck the rest of the world. There's only 2 continents, baby.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, they did Team North America and Team Europe. And I was like, I know there was some discussion of like, what will they take from real life
Yeah.
for this? I love them taking Team North America and Team Europe.
Do we think, we haven't asked this question, do we think that Major League Hockey exists in a world with the National Hockey League? Or is it just the National Hockey League's replacement in
it's
this
just the
world?
National Hockey League.
Yeah,
think so?
because you
Yeah.
can't call something the Cup.
And they like, is there there's no way there's a secondary league and that's the league that's sending players to the Olympics.
Fair.
I did notice that the Montreal Metros jerseys has the same issue that the Canadiens breakaway jerseys have, which is the stripes are too strong. That if you do thin letters on top, there's like a speed bump on the numbers. Those jerseys look like ass.
You're really in on this now.
Yeah.
Really in the weeds here.
Oh, yeah. I am like deep in the weeds on both of these uniforms. And have we discussed yet? I know we did off the show, but the Boston Raiders jersey is so bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah. It's horrific.
terrible.
Yeah, we were just talking about it because
Yeah.
they look like they're on a like they look like they put a Bruins jersey on a Blackhawks. Or
Right,
a Bruins
right.
logo on a Blackhawks jersey.
Very, very bad jerseys. But so far, I'm in on this show. I did not, after episode 1, I was worried that after episode 2, I'd be out and these conversations would feel like a chore. No. The last 10 seconds clicked everything into place for me, and I am in.
Yeah, I'm definitely in. I'm definitely on board. It's right now, I would say it leans more towards like porn than a TV show. But I hope that changes.
It's a smut show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is exactly what I expected it to be.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.